In this video from We Are Racing, the other thing that we did or decided to do today is to lay out all the spares and parts that we've got left. Hey guys, and welcome back to We Are Racing. For today's video we're going to do some piping. We're going to fit the exhaust after we fitted the starter, and I'll show you something about the starter just now. We are going to check the position of our oil pipes, and we are going to check the position of the various electric wires that we've got running close to the exhaust system to see if those are sort of all in the right place. We are getting so close. We ordered the drive shaft for the car, so that'll be here in a day or two. We ordered it on a Friday, so we'll only get it on Monday. Typically, if you order these things in the morning, you could probably have it in the same day. That's not even a hell of a lot of luck to be able to do that. So come on this journey with us. Before we get stuck into the video, I want to discuss really two things with you guys. The first one is we are getting quite close to finalizing the Birkin. I reckon maybe another 2 or 3 weeks and it will be done and dusted, and then maybe another 2 or 3 weeks for modifications, and that's going to be done and dusted, and then basically we're done with the Birkin. So we've started looking out for our new project, and with that we obviously trying to find something that you guys, our supporters, our audience, would like to see. So please comment down below, tell me what it is that you guys would like to see. We've got a rough budget of about 100,000 Rand to buy a car, fix it up, modify it, do whatever, and it's important that we then sell that car for a profit. So we can't do silly stuff like modifications that only I am going to like, because if it doesn't sell, I'm sitting with a product that I don't use or I can't use, and a massive hole in my bank account. So it definitely must be something that we can build that's going to be unique enough that we would be able to modify and fix and finish within our 100,000 Rand budget and make a profit when we sell it on, so that we can finance the next project. With the amount of subscribers we have and the amount of views that we get, we're not making any money from YouTube yet, so yeah, well, you know, it's one of those things. The second thing is, please do like, please do share, please do subscribe, and do hit that little bell button there so that you can know whenever we bring things out. We are doing about 3 videos a week at the moment. It's really hard work, and we love your comments. We respond to every single comment. Thank you so much for those. Let's go do some work on the Birkin.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Let me give you a quick update. So at the back over here, we've wired the ground for the petrol pump to there. And now it doesn't want to focus. There we go. And the live wire obviously comes from the wiring harness. We've piped from the outlet over there into the petrol pump, fuel pump, through the fuel filter, into the sender pipe that goes to the front, and we'll get to that just now. And then we've got the return pipe coming on this side, and that goes into the front of the tank over here. Best information that we can get is that this is an overflow that connects to that overflow that connects to a T-piece over here. Now, I battled my ass off to get this little T-piece. So what I eventually did is I went to the local builder's warehouse and I bought an Elva brass T-piece that is meant for gas applications. Fits quite perfectly. This little T-piece then runs to this little tank at the back, which is the big mystery unit. Now that's been called many things. It's been called a rollover tank and all kinds of interesting things. My best information is that this is just part of the breather system. We need a clamp to go onto there, but there shouldn't be any pressure on here really. So what happens is from the overflows it goes to this hook over here, and then the best we can tell is that there are 2 pipes connecting to here that just runs through the suspension to the bottom over there. So if there's any excess fuel in the tank or spillage happening that it spills on the floor and not all over your suspension over here. That's the best information we've got right now. If you disagree, please comment below and let us know that we did this wrong. In the front, what we have is from the fuel pump, this guy over here, into the fuel rail, which is this molded plug over here. Right, let me just get some electronics out the way. And that goes into the fuel rail. Now that pressurizes the fuel rail throughout here where we have the actual injectors connected. And at the end of that guy, we've got the fuel pressure regulator, which is this guy over here. And if there's excessive amounts of fuel, this returns, and we ran it through the bottom over there, and that returns to that side over there, which of course follows through here, and then comes into the return of the fuel tank over there. That's the best information we have.
Several bad puns later.
Okay, quick little update. So, Brendan reconnected the exhaust pipe for us again for the millionth time. So that's our exhaust connected, and the purpose of this reconnect of the exhaust served a couple of purposes. First off, to check the clearance on the starter motor, which we now know none of the starters that we bought to date actually fits there, and the original starter that we have has the gear is too big. It doesn't engage with the flywheel, so that's fine. We're busy sorting that out. The other reason we're doing this is to make sure that we've got sufficient clearance on all of these oil pipes. So I mean, this guy will probably bolt onto the frame over here, and also to make sure that there are no electricity lines running too close to the exhaust. What we've decided to do also is cover this in exhaust tape. So we'll cover all of this right up to here in exhaust tape, and make sure that we don't transfer excessive amounts of heat to any electronics or oil pipes that's running through here. Groovy. Whenever you find anything on any car that says bolt on, it never ever bolts on. Just the top. The other thing that we did or decided to do today is to lay out all the spares and parts that we've got left to try and figure out what is left to be done on this car. And this is basically all of it, and we realized that not all of it will necessarily be used. Over there we've got one disassembled wiper motor, and right now we're not 100% sure if we're actually going to run wipers on this thing, because we're not even sure that we're going to put a windscreen on it. This one here is our original starter that came with the car. It's got the wrong gear on the front, so the starter fits perfectly and it fits behind the exhaust, but it doesn't engage the flywheel. That starter over there, courtesy Wayne Sylvester, works. It's got the right gear, but it doesn't fit behind the exhaust system. I thought maybe we could turn this thing upside down, and it almost worked, but the bottom of the unit there catches the gearbox. So oops, it doesn't work. We're gonna have to make a different plan. These are all our water pipes. They will definitely be used. That's just some water clamps, so they will definitely be used, no problem. At some point we're going to fit the driver's seat, and I would ideally like the driver's seat to be on rails. Again, Wayne thanks a stack for providing these. I'll figure out how to fit them to a seat. There are some spare oil filters. Those we're definitely going to use, on account of we probably have 2 oil changes before this car hits the road. Center console, definitely be used. These guys over here This is the original oil system that connected to the car. We replaced that so that we could put the oil filter in a different location. That was mentioned in a different video. I'll see if I can find that and post the link here somewhere now. On that system, we would have used this McGaffer over here to relocate the oil filter and oil cooler. That's not going to happen. These are some extra fittings which I still need to make some way of putting the oil pressure switch in there. I'll do that this week sometime. That's the cover for the fuses. That's definitely going on the car. Some spare oil hoses, not going on the car. If we do run a windshield, then apparently we have to do a washer motor and wipers. So we'll use this up. Spare fan belts of the wrong size when I was battling to find the correct fan belt that we needed. Oil reservoirs for brakes and clutch, not going to use because we use different ones. Steering wheel needs to go to steering wheel. Oil pump, when we were going to run an external oil pump, we since sorted out the oil, so no oil pump required. We'll probably be selling that guy. Air filter needs to go where air filters go, so that's not a biggie. Some spare globes over there, lots of wiring. Maybe you guys can help me with this. We've got these plugs and they come obviously in a male female type setup, so let's call that the female setup and this the male setup. We used a bunch of these plugs all over the car and I need more. I need some, especially the 4-way ones. If anybody can please tell me where I can find those, please comment below. I'd be more than grateful if you could tell me. Wing mirrors, definitely we'll use those. Fittings for wing mirrors, definitely we'll use those. These here, not for this car. Little lights over there, I'm not 100% sure because we already have the reverse lights, so that's probably fog lights. More globes, oil pressure for which we bought a different one, so we're not going to use that. No idea what this is, but you'll probably figure it out. Buzzer, that messed me around, not going to use that. Seat belts, completely no, it's not overrated. Seat belts are definitely going on the car, but I do believe we've got a 4-point harness here somewhere, so that's probably going in the car. What do we have here? Some empty boxes. Probably chuck those. Rev counter that goes up to 8,000 RPM. Not going to serve the purpose. I found one that goes much higher. Fuel pump. We've already got a fuel pump on the system. Not going to worry about that. That is some fuel hose which we're not going to use. And this guy over here is the fuel pressure, the oil pressure sensor that doesn't fit behind the exhaust, for which I'm going to have a different fitting made this week. Water pump, and then the cover. If anybody can tell me what this is, no idea what this is. It's like a slider type setup, and then we've got these brackets. They all look more or less like this one, well, these two, and that's more or less all the parts that we have that still need to go onto this car. That little computer box there we're not going to use anymore, on account that we decided to go with a traditional setup in terms of the rev counter and speedometer. That's it for the summary of the parts that we've got left. Please comment below. We'd really appreciate your input in terms of figuring out a couple of these things. I think that's going to be a wrap up for today's video, so that we can basically move on and hopefully finish this car soon. As mentioned in the video already, we did order the drive shaft. Like a Wally, when the gentleman came around to come and measure the drive shaft, I didn't pull out a camera and I didn't interview him in terms of how we measure a drive shaft and what to actually look out for. But thanks to Spencer for coming out and sorting us out with the drive shaft. We'll probably pick that up next week, and it will also go in the car, putting us one step closer to finishing this car with all its bolt-on parts. bolt on. In any case, that's going to be a wrap, guys. Please like, please subscribe, please comment below if there's anything that you would like to share with us. The biggest thing holding us back at the moment is the starter motor, and that's not insurmountable. I'm pretty sure we're going to sort it out very quickly. Thank you, good luck, see you in the next one. Always remember, life is too short to drive boring cars.